Good afternoon and welcome to ICU TV Lunchtime News. We take a look at the stories making headlines. Man seriously injured in lone car accident on Munali Road. Over 1,000 illegal miners leave Kikonge gold mine. HH calls on Zambians to resist falsehood. In international news, NRA calls for full investigation into Minnesota shooting. In sports news, Zesco United make double substitution in CAF Confederation Cup clash. With the news details, my name is Precious Panda. Police have launched investigation into a serious road traffic accident involving a lone Toyota Mark X that occurred on Sunday, January 25, 2026, around 15 hours along Munali Road near Zambia National Service, Chamba Valley in Lusaka. The accident involved a Toyota Mark X bearing registration number CAH9967, which was being driven from north to south by David Sakala, aged 29, of Mutumbi area. According to Zambia Police Service Deputy Public Relations Officer Chipoka Itisha, the driver sustained serious injuries, including fractures to both legs, neck pain, a cut to the right eye, and general body pains. She said the motor vehicle was extrusively damaged as a result of the impact. Ms. Kaitisha stated that the injured driver was rushed to Levi Mwanawansa Teaching Hospital, where he is currently admitted and receiving medical treatment. She further explained that the vehicle has been parked at Ben Mwinga Police Traffic as investigations continue and will be examined by the Road Traffic and Safety Agency, RASA, to help establish the cause of the accident. Ms. Kaitisha added that the police officers from Ben Mwinga Police Traffic are conducting investigations into the circumstances surrounding the crash and that more details will be communicated in due course. Over 1,000 illegal miners have vacated the Kikonge gold mine in Fumbwe district following a stern warning from Zambia Army Commander Lieutenant General Godfrey Ziele. Lieutenant General Ziele warned illegal miners to leave the site or face forced removal, a move aimed at restoring order and allowing registered cooperatives to operate. Residents have expressed mixed reactions, with some welcoming to move the gap accident and crime, while others urge their livelihoods depends on the illegal mining activities. Authorities continue to work towards lawful mining while balancing community interest. President Hakainde Hichilema has called on Zambians to remain firm in the face of misinformation and resist being influenced by falsehoods spread by some sections of society. The president has expressed concern over the growing circulation of misleading information on various platforms, particularly claims surrounding Bill 7 and his health. He has warned that such false narratives carry the risk of dividing the nation and urged citizens to dismiss them. President Hakainde Hichilema also appealed to Zambians to place love, peace, and unity at the center of national life, noting that these values are initial to the country's development. He says the absence of peace, love, and unity would hinder Zambia's ability to achieve its full potential. The president conveyed the message through his special assistant for political affairs, Levi Ngoma, during a church service at the UCZ at St. Paul Congregation in Kasama. Zambia's trade volumes are on the rise, with 14.3% increase in total trade exports and imports for January to November 2025, reaching 606.3 billion compared to 530.3 billion kwacha in 2025. President Hakainde Hichilema's commitment diplomacy is driving the growth, strengthening the trade relations with SADC and leveraging Zambia's strategic location. Improved cooperations, upgrade trade coordinators, and efficient border processes, and enhancing market accesses for Zambia's products and boosting export performance in line with government's efforts to promote economic growth.
Yes, trade volumes in SADC have gone up, driven by President Hakainde Hichilema's focus on economic diplomacy. Trade growth is already showing in the numbers. According to the Zambia statistics, ZamStats, cumulative total trade for January to November 2025 reached 606.3 billion kwacha, up 14.3% from 530.3 billion kwacha in the same period of 2024. This follows consistent momentum earlier in the year, with January to October 2025 cumulative trade rising 17.6% to 550.7 billion kwacha from 468.4 billion kwacha in 2024. The trade balance remained positive at 2.12 billion kwacha for January-November 2025, up from 0.24 billion kwacha in 2024. This signals stronger performance in goods flowing regionally and globally, of course. Now, this report breaks down the key bilateral wins, shared projects, and what they mean for Zambia. Let's talk about Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. DRC consistently ranks among Zambia's top export markets, often contributing 10 to 14% of total export earnings, supported by non-traditional exports such as sulfur, cement, beverages, dairy, oilseeds, meat, soybeans, sugar, and petroleum products. Security Memorandum of Understandings, outward trade missions to Kolwezi and Kisangani, and of course aligned, have supported this growth. Landmark. On 15th of October 2025, Zambia exported its first beef consignment to Lubumbashi, sourced from smallholder farmers. The initial shipment was valued at $62,635 United States dollars from 55 animals slaughtered, opening a path to scale the livestock sector toward a $1 billion United States dollars annual export target, with DRC as a key market alongside Angola. Now, infrastructure. Kasumbalesa border modernization has reduced clearance time. The Kasomeno-Mwenda toll road and bridge is under full construction since March 2025, under a $650 million United States dollars, a PPP with the DRC. Now, this includes a 184-kilometer highway and a 345-meter cable stayed bridge, expected to cut travel time from 12 hours to about 3 to 4 hours and raise cross-border trade by 30 to 50% in agriculture and minerals. The Kalumbila-Kolwezi Interconnector, a $270 million United States dollar project with 200-kilometer transmission and 300 megawatts directional capacity.
We take a short break. Coming up next is international news and sports news. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity building for national development.
Welcome back, and now in international news. The National Rifle Association has joined other United States gun lobby groups in calling for a full investigation by the Trump administration into a killing of Alex Pretty in Minnesota. Pretty, a registered nurse at a Veterans Affairs hospital, was fatally shot by a border agent in Minneapolis on Saturday. State and federal authorities have given conflict accounts on the incident. Federal officials say Pretty was carrying a gun and posed on a threat. Officials, while available video footage has not shown him holding a firearm at the time he was shot. In a statement, the NRA criticized comments made by a federal prosecutor suggesting that people who approach law enforcement while armed risk being lawful shot. The organization described the remarks as dangerous and wrong, saying the responsible Republic voices should wait for the outcome as a full investigation rather than making broader generalization about lawful and gun owners. The NRA, which is usually aligned with former President Donald Trump, said officers involved shooting requires reboots and comprehensive investigations to determine whether the use of force was justice. Investigations by the state and federal authorities into the shooting are ongoing. We take a short break. Coming up next is sports news.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Welcome back, and now in sports news. Zesco United made a double chance in the 37th minute. Zesco United made a double chance in the 37th minute of their CAF Confederations Cup Group D match against Kaizer Chiefs, introducing Azaumo Obame and Moses Mwanza in place of Peter Vitali and Peter Musukuma as they looked to turn to 10th of the game. The move came with Zesco United traveling 1-0 to South Africa visitors Kaizer Chiefs at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Dola. Chiefs took an early lead inside the opening minute through a goal before Zesco's attempt to regroup and attack intensive in the first half. Zesco's coach, Matthews Ndlovu, opted to refresh his side's attacking options ahead of halftime, bringing on Obame and Mwanza as part of an effort to press for an equalizer against a disciplined Chief defense. Despite sustained pressure from the host following the substitutions, Kaizer Chiefs held on for a 1-0 victory, claiming crucial points in the continental competition and marking their first ever win against a Zambia side in CAF club competition history. That sports item brings us to the end of the lunchtime news, but before we go, a quick recap on the stories making headlines. Man seriously injured in lone car accident in Munali Road. Over 1,000 illegal miners leave Kikonge gold mine. HH calls for Zambians to resist falsehood. In international news, NRA calls for full investigations into Minnesota shooting. In sports news, Zesco United make double substitutions in CAF Confederation Cup clash. Thank you so much for watching ICU TV Lunchtime News. For more details, do watch us for many news at 21 hours.